They say that crime doesn't pay, but what they don't tell you is that it can be so much fun. At least, that's what I took away from the brand new game Rubber Bandits, a co-op action game where the goal is to steal the money and escape before getting caught by the police. It's a simple concept that quickly spirals out of control as you attempt those daring heists with a few backstabbing friends. Hello citizens of Switch Planet, my name is Cyril, and today I want to tell you why Rubber Bandits is not only my newest Switch obsession, but also one of the most fun and hilarious multiplayer games that you're gonna play this year. No, seriously. You've just broken out of prison and are now in a desperate need for money. What are you gonna do? Assuming you're playing Rubber Bandits, the answer is surprisingly simple. You go on a series of increasingly tense heists, either with a crew or by yourself. This involves breaking into a famous museum, raiding the docks, and stealing from the airport, all before you take on the ultimate challenge of robbing some heavily fortified banks. What makes this game so addictive is how simple it is. This isn't Grand Theft Auto 5 or Payday 2, where there are a dozen little steps you have to do to prepare for planning a heist. In fact, you barely have to plan at all. Most of the stages are incredibly small and self-contained, meaning that you're going to be able to get in and out in just a minute or two. You can do this the non-violent route, where you sneak around the guards in hopes of not being noticed when you pocket the cash. Or, if you don't want to stay hidden, you can use pretty much everything in the level to smack around the cartoonish cops, creating an easy path to the goodies. Now, when I say that you can use pretty much everything in the level, I mean it. Rubber Bandits is one of those games where just about everything can be a weapon. Sure, you can use guns, crowbars, bats, chainsaws, hand grenades, and the usual assortment of weapons to take out the security guards. But picking up a chair, suitcase, computer monitor, or ceramic sausage can be just as fun. What's great about the game is how the weapons and items are randomly featured in each stage, forcing you to think on your toes when it comes to dealing with the fuzz. The randomness and variety ends up being one of the best things about this game. Even when you play the same bite-sized levels over and over, there's all kinds of ways to complete each mission. Obviously, some of this comes in the form of random weapons, while other levels will allow you to take multiple paths to both the money and the exit. For example, there may be a level that allows you to ride on a platform, but since it's in the guard's direct line of sight, you might want to destroy another part of the level, toppling over a shipping container and allowing our thieving hero to make a much safer getaway. Pretty much every level has this type of alternate and even hidden path, with some of them being a lot more obvious than others. The level designs are a big reason why this game is so much fun. Even before you get your friends involved or jump online, you'll cause maximum carnage as you do whatever it takes to steal the cash. The levels are purposely chaotic, with all kinds of objects to break and items to kick over as you stumble around. Papers will fly all over the place, pillars will be reduced to a bunch of tiny pieces, and let me tell you, you're gonna break so much glass as your time as a criminal. I'm talking about glass windows, glass doors, glass fences, glass displays, and more. These stages are not only destructive, but they're waiting for you to tear them apart. And yes, before you ask, it's every bit as cathartic as it sounds. Now, part of what makes the action so chaotic is the looseness of the various thieves. As the title suggests, there's a rubbery sensation to the characters that makes everything from getting around to smacking the guards a little more challenging. Not necessarily frustrating, but certainly less precise. The effect is extremely cartoony and comes across like a group of bumbling burglars. This plays into the game's over-the-top physics, where insane things are bound to happen as the action heats up. The whole thing is as hilarious to play as it is to watch, giving us a bunch of fun heists that don't take themselves too seriously. It's the kind of game that just feels like it could swing wildly out of control at any time, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Because the stages are so small, the action is always fast and always intense. It helps that the different locations and levels are good about mixing up the obstacles that you'll face. For example, you're going to have to negotiate traffic when stealing from the downtown ATM machines, something that is a complete non-factor when you're inside of the museum or the bank or some other indoor level. Likewise, the airport is full of moving sidewalks and escalators, something that you can manipulate to gain the upper hand. You'll also have to abide by the boat schedule when you're stealing from the docks and jump between trucks when you're on the freeway. There's a unique wrinkle in every stage, something that helps to keep the game fresh throughout all of the 25 heists. Well, all of this is more than doable as a single-player game. Rubber Bandits is at its best and most chaotic when you have a bunch of your friends involved. This is where the game really shines. With online and off, we're given all kinds of modes and ways to play through the missions. I'm talking about pork pursuit, snack attack, brawl, carnage, dodge bomb, and more. All of which help to shake up the normal arcade mode. What makes the multiplayer mode so exciting is that anything goes. You don't have to work together to steal the money, so you'll probably want to use the wide assortment of weapons to not only take out the guards, but also your friends. There are times where it feels more like a fighting game that just so happens to be taking place during a bank robbery. And best of all, Switch owners can play with and against people from other platforms thanks to the cross-play support. Rubber Bandits is the kind of game that's just a joy to play. The heists are so short and so much fun that I didn't want to stop, even when I completed all 25 missions and looped back around to the very beginning. And it's not just that the levels are fun to play, but it's also that there are a lot of incentives to keep you going. We're constantly earning new character skins, accessories, clothing, and more. You're going to want to use that money that you earn from the various crimes to customize your characters in thousands of different ways, making them stand out from all the other criminals. Boy, this game has a great sense of humor. All this adds up to being one of the best party games on the Switch, a system that is specifically known for having a lot of amazing party games. It's full of expertly crafted stages, zany weapons, and silly costumes, all of which is going to keep you hooked for a long time to come. No matter if you're a solo burglar or you have an entire crew with you, Rubber Bandits is a riveting take on the crime genre and a must-play game. It's currently $9.99 over at the eShop, and I can't recommend it highly enough.
Okay everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we release new content. We hope to see you in the next video.